Todd Starnes Show begins in 2 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 1 minute.
Live from the Liberty University studio in Memphis, Tennessee, it's Common Sense Conservative Commentary from Todd Starnes.
That's us. That's right. I love this American ride.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Todd Starnes radio show. Great to have you with us today. And man, do we have a busy show for you and a lot of ground to cover. We had some pretty major elections last night, a half a dozen primaries across the nation, including in places like Iowa. We're going to be checking in with Jeff Stein in just a little while. Also, New Jersey, where there is some crazy stuff happening there. A witness for the defense in the 9/11 attacks actually won the Democrat nomination to be a member of Congress. So we'll get into that story a little bit later on today as well. Also, some really interesting races coming out of the Midwest in South Dakota, where a sitting congressman and a very popular congressman went down in defeat in a big race there because he was not a Trump supporter. And I think one of the lessons we're learning here in all of these races is that Donald Trump's endorsement is the gold standard. And then there's California. And I have to tell you, I am very encouraged by what I have seen over the past, almost 24 hours now. Let me say that we will not know the final results for days. And that's because California, we'll get into that with Josh Jones in just a moment, but that's because California has one of the most antiquated election systems. And by the way, it's not all that old. I mean, they've only been doing the mail-in ballots like this for about 6 years or so. But I want to go right away to the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line and bring in our good friend. He is our chief Republican political strategist here on the Todd Starnes radio show, Josh Jones. Josh, what a wild night in politics.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. To your point, I mean, we had obviously the elections in California that are still, the ballots are still being counted because, as you know, California has the worst system in the country, arguably. But to your point, we saw some big upsets in the Midwest, in South Dakota, and then also in Iowa last night. And then to your point, we saw what we all know the Democratic Party is becoming, but what the Democratic Party future looks like in New Jersey by them electing a radical leftist progressive that's now going to be a member of Congress, because that's a safe blue seat. So, unless something extreme happens, he'll be in Congress next year.
I want to go through the numbers, and again, these are all changing. One of the things that I think really worried a lot of Republicans who went to bed late last night, I called it a night around midnight, and Steve Hilton was doing quite well. The problem, though, is they have all of these ballots that come in late, and they always seem to favor the Democrats. So while Steve Hilton may be, and the latest numbers I'm looking at here, Hilton is leading the field with what, 28% of the vote. Javier Becerra at 25% and Tom Steyer at 20%. Then Chad Bianco down there at 11%. What do you make of these numbers as they now stand?
I mean, as they stand as of right now, and look, we still have about half the ballots still out there that haven't been counted. But as they stand as of right now, it looks like Steve Hilton is going to advance to this November election and face one of the two Democrats here. So far, so good. And also, just looking at the raw vote numbers, even going to LA, where Spencer Pratt looks like he's going to advance to the November election. Look, there's Republican enthusiasm in California and across the country as well, but particularly in California. I think that's emblematic of some of these deep blue states that people are just fed up with Democratic one party control and are looking for alternatives. Now, look, we still have votes to count. Don't want to put your eggs in one basket. So we'll see how things shake out. But if I'm Steve Hilton, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
I want to go back to Spencer Pratt because, again, I mean, as it now stands, you could have Spencer Pratt in the general election going up against Karen Bass. But the reality is, I mean, we've only got, what, 50% of the ballots counted? I mean, it could be that the Republicans are wiped out.
Yeah, you never know. And look, this is something that California has to address because it's every election with them. They have these antiquated mail-in ballot, absentee ballot rules. Look, if you can run the world's fifth largest economy, you can have your election results in within 24 hours. I mean, it should not be this hard. And also, too, I'll add on, Democrats love to say, how dare you question election results? And look, I'm not questioning the results in California, but they love to be like, how dare you question election results? Meanwhile, if it takes a week or days, maybe a week to get the results, I don't blame people for asking a question every now and again. So look, they need to fix their system, and hopefully, if they elect Republican leadership this November, we'll be able to do that.
You do have to wonder, though, how devastating is this for Karen Bass? I mean, this is the incumbent mayor here, and she really got her butt handed to her yesterday by the voters. I know she came out ahead, but this cannot be good for Karen Bass.
You're right, because even if you look at some of these other Democrat candidates that were running along Karen Bass and Spencer Pratt, she didn't get over 50%. Karen Bass didn't get over 50% of the vote, which means the majority of voters in LA want somebody else. Now, whether they coalesce around her as a Democrat nominee this November, we'll see. But that shows that there's an appetite for voters in LA where they're not happy with the status quo and they want to shake things up.
I'm looking at the map here, and I thought it was interesting. Bianca, I mean, this really was a Steve Hilton race, and when you look at the state, Hilton picked up more counties than any other candidate. The problem is, those are not some of the big city areas. I would say perhaps Orange County, Steve Hilton did well there, and then in his home county of San Diego County, he did very well down there. Bianco picked up Riverside County. That's not a surprise there, but it was sort of interesting that Becerra came in second place in Riverside County, and I'm wondering if that had a lot to do with the fact that Bianco was just really pounding Steve Hilton over these past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I would say that's probably a fair assessment. Because look, Steyer's campaign, number three right now, and we'll see again how those results shake out. But Steyer's campaign kind of collapsed in the last couple of weeks, so I think Bianca has shifted his attacks from Steyer primarily over to Hilton, knowing that he needed to beat his numbers down. Hopefully, to come in first place and set him up for November. Is I imagine what his thinking was.
I thought it was interesting. Steyer from Marin County, which is out near the Bay Area, and he won his home county, but barely. I mean, by like not even a full percentage point. That to me is really shocking. And Steve Hilton coming in third place there in Marin County with 19.6% of the vote. I'm just wondering if Hilton's message, and again, if we can get all the Republicans on board here, there could be a path to victory here for the Republicans in the fall.
You're right. You have to have a unique candidate to win California as a Republican. Steve Hilton's definitely that. I mean, he's formerly from Britain, became a U.S. citizen in 2021. And look, his message is breaking through. He's a relatively newcomer to the American political scene, relative newcomer to America in general, which I guess is the American dream. Look, we have a long way between now and November. A lot of that will have to do with fundraising and getting out the vote. It's a midterm year with Republicans in the White House, which means it's an uphill battle for Republicans. But I think you could see like a lot of voter dissatisfaction with the status quo in California, where that could have an opening for a Republican to win this November.
Here's how this is why I think it may be a big deal. And Josh, you're the expert, so you can tell me if I'm off my rocker here. But I
Sure.
believe just having candidates, but having strong Republican candidates really helped all the down ballot races. And I say that because Gloria Romero, who was the Democrat, she was in the state assembly, she left the party, and well, she said that the party left her. She became a Republican. She's actually leading right now in the lieutenant governor. She's number one with 19.8% over the two Democrats below her. Regardless, looks like she may be heading to a general election. You look at Michael Gates, who's running for attorney general. He's been on both of them have been on the show. Michael Gates got 42.7% of the vote for attorney general against Rob Bonta, so who is the Democrat incumbent. What do these numbers tell you?
Look, it tells you that there is an appetite for change in California. And I think that's why you see Steve Hilton and these other Republicans messaging. And to your point, it's a huge benefit to down ballot races to have a strong top of the ticket. Because let's say, Steve Hilton advances to the November election, but maybe doesn't come out on top. If he runs an effective campaign, he can help us save a lot of these House seats that Gavin Newsom tried to gerrymander out of Republican hands. Look, politics is a team sport from the top of the ticket to the bottom of the ticket, because you definitely have a trickle down effect, but you can even have a trickle up effect. You have a really strong Republican candidate in some of these congressional districts. So it's a team sport. It seems like they have their head in the game, and will keep California competitive.
Josh, again, there were those five congressional seats as well, and I know you've got a lot going on today. But those five congressional seats that were redistricted, I know Daryl Isis said, "You know what? I'm not going to run. I'm out." I'm wondering how those Republicans fared in those races. I know there was one where you had two Republicans going at it, and both of them came out as number one and number two. So at least one of the five will remain a Republican seat, which I'm sure is a great disappointment to the Democrats.
You're right. The Democrats really screwed themselves over with that one. They thought they were being smart by redistricting those two Republicans into the same district. And then they come out number one and number two. And so now you're definitely going to have a Republican this November from that seat, more than likely.
And
Again,
yeah, it's just
so
yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, no, you're fine. You're fine. But and those other congressional seats that you were talking about too, you had one Republican who switched to run as an independent after the gerrymander, who also is going to probably come in first or second, and then the Republican's going to come in either first or second, opposite there. So, look, I think the Democrat gerrymander that they tried in California is backfiring on them. We'll see how things play out. Again, we still have a lot of votes to count, unfortunately. So we'll see how things go.
And the person you're talking about, the independent Kevin Kiley, who is caucusing with the Republicans, but you're right, I mean, they destroyed his district, but Kiley came out on top. I mean, he's got 27% of the vote. It looks like right now, at least all of the Republicans are going to be able to fight for their lives again in the general. So I think that I hope Republicans in California are energized by this. But Josh, let's broaden it out nationwide here. I mean, if these numbers hold, I mean, what does that tell you about Republican efforts nationwide?
It tells you that, look, the battle for the House is very much in play here. I think at the beginning of this year, a lot of people were saying it's a given that it's going to the Democrats. And look, it's still very, very much so a toss up of who wins the House of Representatives this November. But Republicans are in a position to fight and win this. And what does it take to fight and win it? It takes Republicans coming out to vote this November, number one, but also two, members of Congress have to go out and message what they've been doing on behalf of the America First agenda. while also continuing to advance the America First agenda in Congress. Because if we get to November and Republican voters don't feel motivated to come out to the polls because they're asking, well, what's my congressman been doing? Then we will lose. But they have the opportunity between now and November to go out and hit the campaign trail. Run like you're 10 points behind is what I always tell folks. And you'll do your part in Congress up in DC, and hopefully, the voters will respond to that in November.
All right. The world famous Josh Jones, he is our chief political strategist here on the Todd Starnes radio show. Josh, great analysis as always. We're going to get into it a little bit later on with Jeff Stein over at KXEL in Iowa. Big races there. We're going to let you get back to it. Always appreciate you joining us on the show, Josh. Thanks.
Thanks, Todd.
All right. So there you have it, everybody. Just a brief overview of what's going on in California. And look, I mean, the reality is right now, Republicans are sitting very pretty, but there's still a lot of voting. And I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna let the chips fall where they may. I'm feeling good about this. However, I am concerned that the longer it takes to count these ballots, the more opportunities the Democrats are going to have to cheat and steal. And because the Democrats, they control everything in California, including the vote counting. And you do have to wonder if they are looking at all of these races and trying to figure out exactly how many ballots they need to win over and defeat some of these Republicans. But as it now stands, if we're looking at a fair election here, this is fantastic news because it tells me that the good people of California are done with the Democrats and they're ready to do something else. So we're going to open up the phone lines here. 901-260-5926, our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. This is The Todd Starnes Show.
Can't hear the whole show? Don't worry. Get the Toddcast and listen on your own time at toddstarnes.com.
America has a new choice for fair and balanced news. toddstarnes.com. Journalism you can trust from some of the best reporters and opinion writers in the business. toddstarnes.com takes you to the front lines of the culture war, defending faith, freedom, and your family. toddstarnes.com also features exclusive interviews with America's top newsmakers like Mike Huckabee, Franklin Graham, and Newt Gingrich. Find out why millions of Americans read toddstarnes.com every day. It's news you can trust. toddstarnes.com.
For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms while providing exceptional nationwide cell phone service with access to all three of the main networks. Patriot Mobile's all-U.S.-based support team is standing by to take care of you. Call 972-PATRIOT today or go to patriotmobile.com/Todd. Use promo code Todd for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT, code Todd. Why are radical Islamists and radical progressives, groups that could not be more different, working together? The answer will shock you. Dr. Michael Youssef has spent decades studying this from the inside, and in his most urgent book yet, An Unholy Alliance, he tears the mask off a coordinated assault on American freedom and Judeo-Christian civilization. Foreign funding, institutional cowardice, cultural infiltration in our schools, our cities, and even our churches. It is not a conspiracy theory. This is happening right now. An Unholy Alliance gives you the 1,400-year backstory behind today's headlines and a practical action plan to fight back with faith and courage. Dr. Youssef says this is the wake-up call the church needs now. So don't wait. Get your copy of An Unholy Alliance by Dr. Michael Youssef, available wherever books are sold. Again, An Unholy Alliance by Dr. Michael Youssef, available where books are sold.
Mama, what does the chicken say?
Chicken. Oh, okay.
When the wolf?
Oh, a wolf. Ooh!
What about the tiny dog? Cat? Owl?
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Dolphin? What does the turkey say? Whale?
Yeah, whale sound.
Do the giraffe?
Giraffe, really? Okay. Giraffe. Giraffe. Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/
the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time, and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Todd Starnes Radio Show. Great to have you with us, and a lot happening today. 901-260-5926 is our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. Let's go to the phone lines. Anthony in Alabama. Hi, Anthony. What's on your mind today?
Well, I was going to make a comment about the election last night in California for the mayor.
Yes.
The mayoral race. Yeah, and I don't want to be, Pollyannish about all of that. I think it was good that the the guy's name was Pratt, Spencer Pratt.
Spencer Pratt, yes. Go ahead.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in second place, but there's still a pretty big gap on that percentage between him and Bass, and it's a long way off to November where they're going to have this runoff. And I think the fix is already in, that the Democrats are going to win this. There's nobody down there who's going to prevent any kind of cheating that's going on, and you have to consider all of the takers that are in California, and it looks pretty good, but I'm pretty skeptical that the Republicans are going to be able to pull anything off. It might be different from the governor's side, maybe, but this mayoral race, and that's Los Angeles you're talking about. So, that's pretty much what I wanted to say, and you can go ahead and I'll get off here, and you can say whatever you need to say. Okay?
No. Look, hold on a second here. Don't go anywhere, Anthony. I was wanting to provide the latest numbers that we have here. Karen Bass has 34.8% of the vote. Spencer Pratt has 30.4% of the vote, and then the Neetha Rahman, who's the councilwoman, has 22% of the vote. So there's no doubt this is going to the general, and Karen Bass is going to have some competition here. But those numbers are not insurmountable. I mean, the numbers I'm looking at right now, those are pretty impressive numbers for a guy like Spencer Pratt, who is a political novice.
Yeah, I had some of the older numbers, and I guess that they got new numbers for that. But if there's going to be cheating going on, and believe me, there probably will. Who's going to stop that? the Republicans aren't going to have anybody down there to monitor those polling places. I don't believe they would. So I think that the Democrat Party, they're just dirty. They'll do whatever they can to win. And you got to kind of admire them for that. But the Republicans, I wish they'd hang together more often. But I guess we'll see, though, won't we?
Well, we will. And Anthony, I appreciate you calling in. There are a lot of very angry voters right now in Los Angeles. Very angry voters. And if Spencer Pratt, if he is able to win the day here, and again, we've still got about 50% of the vote that's got to be counted. If he can win the day and make it to that runoff, I think this guy may have a shot. But it's going to be all hands on deck. Now, the statewide races, there's going to be a lot of Democrat shenanigans. These people are going to lie, cheat, and steal, no doubt about it. Question is, how do the voters and how do the Republicans here in California respond to that? 901-260-5926. We'll be right back.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 844-43-BIBLE. That's 844-43-BIBLE. 844-43-BIBLE.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank you for your great support this past year, and they're looking to make 2026 the best year yet. And as a thank you to my listeners, MyPillow is offering exclusive free shipping on your entire order at wholesale pricing. That means they're bringing back the mega sale exclusively for my listeners. For example, the classic My Pillows, normally $49.98, now marked down to only $14.98. Turn any mattress into the best mattress ever with the made in the USA My Pillow My Mattress Topper. Save up to $100. Get a set of My Pillow Giza Dream